Hello folks, this is Dave. I'm going to do a couple things here this month. I'm going to combine a trip we took to the Hall of Fame and the induction ceremonies there. And then I'm also going to show you pickups I made this month. What I want to do is maybe just show some video and some photos, and I'll try to overdub those, and we'll see how this goes. Friday morning, two of my sons and I left Seattle-Tacoma Airport, flying back to Baltimore to meet my son and his two sons, my grandsons, who live in the metro Washington, D.C. area. We went to Camden Yards. We had purchased tickets to watch the Orioles and the Rockies. And after the game, we got in the car and drove up to York, PA to shorten our distance to Cooperstown the next morning. Next morning we left and we got to Cooperstown about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I think. We parked just south of town in what they call the Blue Lot. It's a lot where you can catch a trolley into town and avoid all the traffic there. We went in, they had blocked off about 4 or 5 blocks of Main Street to create essentially a pedestrian mall where there's shops and memorabilia stores and clothing stores and restaurants on either side of the street. So you had free access across the street to either side. Tons of people there, and it was really a fun time. As I was shopping, I really only picked up one card, and it is this one. I have a lot of Cal Raleigh cards, but I'll add this one to my collection too. In late afternoon or early evening, they have a parade where all the Hall of Famers that have come for the induction ceremonies on Sunday ride in a parade and are introduced to the fans lining the parade route. We were actually very close to Brian Kenny, who was the master of ceremonies of the parade, and introduced the players. The only downside was the emergency vehicles they had were kind of parked right in the middle of the street there, so obscured our view from time to time, but no matter, we got to see all the Hall of Famers. The next morning, we got to town early again, parked in the Blue Lot, took the trolley to the induction grounds and set up our chairs there to reserve our spot on the grass, and went back into town and continued to shop and eat and so forth. And then arrived at the induction grounds early afternoon and listened to the speeches by Billy Wagner, Dick Allen's son, Dave Parker's wife, CeCe Sabathia, and Ichiro Suzuki.
He debuted in the United States as the American League Rookie of the Year and Most Valuable Player in 2001. In his first 10 years in the major leagues, he averaged 224 hits per season, peaking with the all-time single-season record of 262 in 2004. Despite reaching the U.S. major leagues at the age of 27, he would become the 30th player in big league history to reach the revered 3,000 hit milestone. A terrific all-around player, winner of 10 Gold Gloves, he is the first Japanese-born player to be inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Please welcome Hall of Famer Ichiro Suzuki.
And anybody who heard Ichiro's speech know that he nailed it. Ichiro doesn't do anything half-hearted. So that was a good time. The crowd filed out. I have no idea how many were there, and we walked back to town, walked back to the Blue Lot, And that was the end of our day. The next morning, we had made reservations on Monday morning to visit the Hall of Fame. We spent about 3 hours there from 9 to noon, and then left. My sons went back home, and I continued my journey through the New England states to visit the last 5 states that I have not visited or had not visited up to that time, and drove down to ultimately Boston and went to Plymouth and Salem and did the Freedom Trail through downtown Boston. It was great. A lot of history there in that part of the country. Friday night, I went to a Red Sox and Astros game at Fenway, checked off one of the last 4 parks that I've yet to visit on my bucket list of parks. That was a good time. Red Sox won in extra innings, which was great for the Mariners. Sorry about that, Brent and other Astros fans. But you know, it's a battle to the end, every team for themselves. That was the end of my journey. Now let me show you the cards that I picked up during July. So the first thing I want to show are the cards I picked up prior to my road trip. And so here what I'm going to show are some cards that I won from RJ. RJ collects sets. I got drawn for the trivia contest, the Tinkers, to Evers, to Chance, the baseball assistance team card patterned after the Hassan triple folder cards from 1912. Those are kind of cool. I mean, just a winning, and I'm glad to have them. It's a cool little set. I also collect my alma mater, University of Washington cards. I try to get them autographed, and here is the latest University of Washington player that played in the big leagues. I think he's still maybe kicking around a little bit, Levi Jordan. The other thing I have here is an autograph of Chet Johnson. I'm gonna put his card. I'm gonna put his card up here. I'll show you what the card is. I couldn't find an autograph card of him from Pacific Coast League, but he played in the major leagues. You might also guess that I am going after some player runs. Here's some cards. Maybe you'll guess who I'm going after. Love these cards. Love the older cards. Then some newer cards here, just from the 80s, I think. Here is, I don't know if you can get the right angle, Mickey Vernon's in there, and Klazuski there. And the Angels. And also got these really cool cards here. 51 tops. 52 tops, I believe. And also picked up this 1949 Bowman. I think I might start going after those cool cards. Willie Puddinhead Jones. After the Hall of Fame trip, I split out and went through the New England states and went to Maine, where Mike, Junk Wax Hero, resides, and he had indicated that his favorite card shop in Maine is Don's, and So I went there, dropped Mike's name, and he gave me the Junk Wax Hero discount. But I just filled in some sets here from here's 1958 cards. Just filling in sets. I was looking for other things and found these, so really nice condition cards mostly. And then this really nice Harvey Keene and Al Kaline. Not sure I'd ever seen that card before, but glad to add it to the collection. And so that's those. There's a 59, and then got some 60s to fill in some holes there, like those cards. Then some 61 baseball greats. Have most of those cards from my boyhood days, but I saw that he had some and picked those up, so I have picked up quite a few of these. I'm going fairly fast because I got a ton of cards and I don't want to spend time going through each one of them. And then the one I really went in for was to see if I could find additions to complete my 1962 top set, and I found the Sherm Lawler, and I looked through a ton of other 62s, and I had everything. And then Don Mincher, doing a player run in him, and actually I may have had that one already, and my checklist wasn't in very good condition. Next, I Googled shops around Providence, Rhode Island, and found this shop in Cranston, Rhode Island. Sports Heroes, it's called. I went in there, looked through a few things, and found just a few cards. Back to 1960, high number card. Not very good condition, but I'll just fill in my set. Here is the 1960 Fleer baseball greats. Found that one. Here's a card for my 1962 set. I think I got that for my player run, as I've already got it for the 62 set. I found this card, relatively inexpensive for a 62 set, Rocky Colavito's Power. And then more recently, I started picking up these 1968 cards. These Topps game cards. And I'll just quickly show those. And all I have left, I bought a mantle here recently that I'll show next month. Nice Rich Allen Hall of Famer as of about a week and a half ago. La Grande Orange, Orlando. Matty Alou. So those are from Sports Heroes. Then I went to Boston and found a place near where I was staying in Saugus, Mass, and went to a shop called Sports World, really big shop. He actually knew the owner of one of the shops here in my area in Seattle, and anyway, he sold me a few cards, 58s, and I got this Norm Cash rookie. It's got a little beat up there. I can't focus too well, but Norm Cash rookie and some other cards. And Phillies team card. And then I got these Sports News All-Star cards. Mazeroski, Louis Aparicio, Ken Boyer, Billy Pierce. Got a 1960 Don Mitcher. And then got these 1966 for player runs, and Merritt Renew was a player, played for my hometown in Yakima, Washington. You see it there in 1960. When I was a little boy, I got to see him play in Yakima. And then for my player run of Boog Powell, a couple of cards. So that's what I picked up mostly this month. Also, one other thing I picked up is I got these Larry Frisch cards. I think there's 119 in this set. Negro League Stars. See Larry Frisch from, can't read that very well, it's not focusing, 1986. But some really cool cards. All the famous Hall of Famers are in here, and a few of the lesser known Hall of Famers as well. Lonnie Irvin, Dandridge, Oscar Charlton, Josh Gibson again, Satchel. So some really good, cool cards. They all have a story on the back, a little bit of a bio on what teams they played on. And I collect Negro League cards. So anyway, those are fun. Glad to pick those up. And last thing I'll show is what will be some of the last Reindeer Studio cards. Ted Williams, Marker Doodle, Roberto Clemente, Marker Doodle, an oil of Jackie Robinson, Martin DeHigo. You can buy these because he's doing these for charity, for a cancer charity in Orlando's memory. Shouldn't make it sound that way. Kind of with respect to Orlando, and Martin DeHigo is a all-star in a Hall of Famer in like 5 different Hall of Fames, including the U.S. Hall of Fame. Ernie Banks, Dumb. I got another Roberto Clemente. I guess I don't keep track of what I ordered. And I love this Joe Jackson card in the Black Sox uniform. Love that. Okay, that's what I got this month. Thanks for watching. Y'all come back now. Here.